All right, Nessa girl, we on to something that we can actually sing about, honey. That Iyanla review had me a little down. But let's get into these medicine wise from this week. It's Wednesday. It's our makeup day. Bitch, we got a lot to make up on, and I don't find my motivation. So first off, the episode opens up with Contessa coming home from the hospital. So, you know, the first person I ever heard of getting this elective mastectomy was Angelina Jolie. And I remember Angelina Jolie came under a lot of fire for this surgery. It was one celebrity who came out. A lot of people were calling her courageous, but there was another celebrity that came out and said, you know, she was not courageous for doing that, and actually what she was doing was cowardly. I can't remember who it was who said something like that. But since Angelina has done this, you know, I begin to hear of more women getting this surgery. And, you know, I really commend Contessa for going through with that. That's something scary. I could not imagine the idea of voluntarily choosing to give up 2 pieces of my body that have been with me for so long. And I do like the fact that Contessa had to reconstruct the surgery at the same time. I guess it minimized the shock of what was going on. And I guess it felt, I guess, you know, she got rid of her old titties and got some new ones in its place. So it kind of worked itself out. She got 2 for the price of 1. She got, you know, rid of something that may bring her some pain and got her some new titties that'll bring her a whole lot of pleasure. So a little bit of pleasure worth a whole lot of pain. Yes, honey, if you learn the secret how to forgive. No pain. Had me thinking about when we was juking down in Orlando. Nevertheless, Heavenly comes home and Dr. Damon is down there in the basement playing with music. So, you know, they always talked about Dr. Damon and his music. I'm assuming it's not something that he does for real. And it's just something that he kind of does to, you know, a pastime, take his mind off of things. But I did enjoy how Heavenly was just down there talking to her husband about some of the things that she discovered about herself. And it gave us, the viewers, the realization that Heavenly really did do some self-discovery down to the Miami, and that was good. I felt so bad for Contessa when she got home and them kids was just WWE World War III all over her bed and all over her chest. First and foremost, with working titties or not, your kids is too damn big to be jumping all over you like a puppy. That's number one. But I get that people like to be in the bed and stuff with their kids. Why y'all just didn't tell them kids off rip, mommy chest hurt? Or why did Scott leave you in the room with them damn kids? And why you screaming, okay, Contessa, why the hell did you scream for Scott? Scott! Come here and get these damn kids off my new titties. That's what I would have said. Contessa looked like she was in so much pain and I was hurting for her. And it's funny because I'm glad in that scene or the subsequent scene that Contessa did reveal that she had also got implants at the time that they removed the breast tissue. Because I was sitting there thinking like, Contessa, you still got some titties up there, so you might need to get a refund. But I'm glad she cleared that up. Jackie home and she out there washing them chairs. Quiet as it's kept, Jackie, after all Curtis put you through, I wouldn't be washing shit, okay? His ass would have been out there with a toothbrush scrubbing that goddamn pilot. Then he gonna talk back, all right, you wash him and I dry him. How he gonna take the laziest job of of doing house chores? That's like when me and my sister used to take turns washing the dishes or split the responsibilities. One person wash, but the person who got to dry them and put them up got the easiest job, in my opinion. Washing them is the hardest thing. Oh, God, I hate washing dishes. That's why I got a sink full of them now. Child, my kitchen smell like the back of a Piccadilly. I'm going to have to wash these dishes when I get off the line. And speaking of washing dishes, well, now, before we get on washing dishes, then we sit down and discover that Curtis and Jackie is about to move again. Now, I was sitting there thinking to myself, now, what the fuck y'all just moved? And I really was thinking, okay, they ended up moving in a house that Jackie didn't have, won't know, wait, now they moving. Then Jackie brought to our attention that, you know, this house got some bad memories as a result of Curtis's infidelity. Excuse me. And that is understandable, especially if they've got the means to move that she would want to move. Here's my thing, though. You wanted a condo, Jackie, and I also heard you say you and Curtis are looking for your dream home. I'm imagining a condo is probably not your dream home in the city. But Jackie, you compromised to the T that last time. You guys are now having to move this time because of Curtis. You better get what you want this time, and that's all I'm saying. You better get what you... There was an old lady sitting under a tree. She said, call Dineva when you are moving. Okay? Let me tell you something, baby. You need my ass to be your damn realtor. Because, bitch, I had you buying 6 condos and fucking around with that damn Curtis. You better get what you want, Jackie. You better get what you want, daughter, this time around. Don't let this man bulldoze you into getting the damn house. Child, you see you didn't want this house nowhere in the universe, got you out of it. You better get what you want this time, Miss Jackie. Toya and Eugene taking their kids to the construction site. You know, on one token, because Toya and Eugene had previous financial problems, they're an easy target for us to laugh and question what they can afford, so on and so forth. Today, I'm going to choose to take the lighter side of things and point out the fact that, you know, we take for granted that this was a, you know, nuclear black family walking the construction site of a, you know, multi-million-dollar home that mom and dad are about to build from scratch. Let's look at that for what it's worth. Like, how magical would life be for so many African Americans if they were in a position where their parents could just so whimsically just walk them on a construction site of a $2 million house and say, this is where your room is going to be. And granted, for Toya and Eugene's sons, they probably don't know none of the difference because this is their way of life. And even that is amazing, to be like, this is their way of life. Like, imagine black people if we were financially in a position to even be plagued with entitlement the way many of our white counterparts are. Like, I found beauty in that. Now, Toya and Eugene ass probably gonna have to move in 6 years, and they're gonna break them boys' heart when they have to point out their new house with their little rooms in it. But the fact that they even got qualified enough to be able to walk their kids on a construction zone, that is amazing, and it does feel good to see black people moving and shaking like that. Say what you want to say about Housewives of Atlanta. Say what you want to say about, you know, Married to Medicine, but they do show that black people live just as fabulously as our white counterparts on TV. And for that reason alone, these two shows will make history. I'll never forget on Housewives when Marlo was bitching or making jokes about Portia's little doormat, and Nene, and while we as the viewers were all wrapped up in it, Nene was like, bitch, do y'all see what we arguing about? She's talking about everybody in here live in $1 million homes and y'all bitching about a doormat. Do you know how hard it is to get $1 million home? And when you spin it that way, it kind of makes you proud of the fact that Toya and Eugene are in a situation to haphazardly spend their money wrong. Because half of us spending our shit wrong and barely making $45,000 a year. Cecil and Simone down to the dinner table. You know, that scene was really awkward for me, and it revealed something, and I'm kind of with Cecil on this. Cecil threw out the fact that Miles is home from college, and it's time that we start, you know, being back a family unit over the summer. And Simone, I think subconsciously, instantly made it a negative thing. She's like, the thought, it's troublesome to me that the thought of cleanliness and noise overshadowed her yearning and desire to be together with Cecil and the boys as one. And don't get me wrong, peace and quiet is very important, especially as we start to age, and the house being clean. But it would seem to me that those would have just been small little, you know what I'm saying, nuisances when you take into account that you have not been in the house with your whole family for like over 6 months, that's very telling. And the fact that the thought of that brings negative feelings first, that's a little concerning for me. I was with Cecil on that one when he was like, damn, why are you making this negative? And Simone, you did make it a negative thing. So we get introduced to Dr. Jarret on this episode. To be honest, I have nothing to say about Dr. Jarret and her husband at this point. We haven't seen anything. We got a soft introduction. She did a housewarming. She definitely fits the bill. She got money. She's pretty. She dresses nice. You know, she looked like she got a little sass. She got a husband. That's really all we know about her. So hopefully, as the season progresses, we will get to see a little more. Contessa did look good 2 days after surgery or whatever. And I did enjoy Dr. Jarret and Mariah sitting down, talking with Contessa, coming to see about her or whatever. She looked good. Quad meeting with her mom and Aunt Bev. Let me tell you something. I don't care about that Aunt Bev. She is all right with me. Quad, her mama and Aunt Bev sitting up there looking like the Clark sisters. But after they got their reunion check, yes God, for the reunion album, they looked really nice and they gave her some practical advice. Aunt Bev seemed real cool. I would like to see a little more Aunt Bev moving forward. She looked nice. Quad when they got their makeup and stuff done. She didn't have her mama and her aunts on there looking like country bumpkins or whatever, and we definitely appreciate her for doing that and brushing their wigs and teasing and feathering their hair the way old people like. We like that. Dr. Jarret had a very nice home from what we saw. Or whatever, you know, she had a nice home. We're gonna leave it at that. Inside her home, though, I was hoping that she would have had a dictionary somewhere by the bar, considering the fact that Toya wanted to send her associates condolences when they're not feeling well. Jesus, and y'all say Toya was somewhere teaching kids English or something. Y'all said she had a master in education. Had a master's in education. Had a master's in education. Girl, they say she got a master's in education. Good. Education. They said she was teaching kids education. Girl. Condolence to that, honey, because your kid's education is dead fucking around with Toya. Toya said she wanted to send the people condolences. I love that montage that they did of everybody being like, Toya got to keep them on guard every time they want to do something. Toya, I hope you look back at this and realize that, okay, everybody in the room feels the same way, so it must be you. Like, you need to redefine your expectations of a friend. Like, Toya has a problem making allowances for the fact, and I used to have this problem. You cannot get perturbed with somebody for not conducting themselves the way you would. Just because you will call a friend Toya when you get ready to go into surgery like that, don't necessarily mean Contessa will or has to, and it doesn't make her a less of a friend because she does not. Quiet as it's kept, Toya, it's very insensitive. You didn't even take into account, you didn't even know all the details. First and foremost, Contessa got the phone call 24 hours after going to the damn doctor. She didn't even have time to process it herself, yet alone the influx of emotions, calls, and inquiries that's going to come from the general public once she put the information out there. Toya, in this instance, is a prime example of jumping to conclusions without having all the information. With Contessa only having 24 hours to get prepped, Toya, that's reason enough that she didn't call y'all in advance, and you automatically assume that she had this surgery on the books 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month in advance, and you was loud, strong, and wrong. The same way you was loud, strong, and wrong when Quad walked into the room and you made that, oh, we don't saw you twice in a month. That was a slight. It could be easily warped into a damn compliment, but you were not complimenting her. You were bringing attention to the fact that she has been so absent lately. And so for me, that was just an extension of what started the last arguments when she was saying, don't make it awkward, you know, calling out my absence, calling awareness, bitch, to my presence is inadvertently calling awareness to my absence. Speaking of absences too, y'all correct me if I'm wrong or help me with this one. Was Aiden being messy and making TV, or was he legitimately making an inquiry? I want to err on the side that Aiden was being a little messy and doing, I'm not going to say Mariah's dirty work. He was doing the dirty work of whomever wanted to know where Greg was. And I'm sure that was everybody in the room. But the thing about it is, now that I think about it, husband and wives pillow talk. I am sure Mariah has filled Aiden in nightly, 2 times a week, on what's going on with Greg and Quad. So yeah, Aiden, it was a little off kilter for you to ask where Greg was, because you got enough of the background to know where Greg ass is. And then you talking about we the fellas, but if he your boy like you say he is, then you would know where the fuck he was at, because you would be in communication with him. It was a little messy. But here's what I'm not understanding. When the men left and Quad started talking, I'm a little confused on where things went left with her and Mariah. Now, I was sitting there like, okay, everybody stop chiming in. Let the lady talk. Again, context. Y'all had already had issues in the past about not letting the lady just talk when she's talking about her personal life. And I don't know, like, I'm trying to be as fair as I can in my assessment of this. And it just feels like Mariah was doing the most. And I get that there are parallels between all of the women. I'm just not understanding why Mariah found it prudent to make that moment the moment that she had to illustrate all of that. Then the whole damn thing just went left and turned into a big old argument. And you know, luckily they were able to get back on track when Heavenly was able to talk about what she learned in Miami. And then Dr. Simone and Jackie were praised for their lesbian relationship and started feeling on each other's legs like the women of Brewster's Place. Nevertheless, Married to Medicine didn't give a whole lot, but it gave enough just to keep us, you know, pacified the next week. I'm finna get in here and call y'all about this love and hip hop, about they say this Black Ink Crew been off the chain. I'm gonna get y'all them two today, and I'll call you back next year. Back.